Because you might think, oh, I have this friend and she runs every single day and she gets to eat whatever she wants. That's not exactly how that works. That's going to show up later on. Either, you might be getting sick a lot, or you might have in your skin and your hair loss. There's a lot of things. If we're not fueling our bodies properly and you're training so much and that intensely, you're more injury prone. You're not going to recover as fast. It's going to also affect how well you're able to progress. Maybe you're doing great right now, but it's going to affect how you're progressing later on. So the effects of overtraining on a bad diet are not always just physical, and it's not just what someone looks like. Because you can look also, they might be looking great on the outside, but on the inside there's a lot of other things that are going on, and that's because of your nutrition.
What's up, everyone? David here. Got a new video for y'all today. But before we get into it, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any new videos. Because remember, new videos on this channel are Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So don't miss out. Got another special guest with me today. If you haven't already, check out my other video, how to balance out college, work, all that good stuff. Audrey made a special guest appearance for that video. Here she is again.
Hey guys, I'm Audrey. I am a certified personal trainer and nutrition coach, as well as a certified Olympic weightlifting coach just recently. And I'm also currently a track and field athlete at CSUN. And I have a fitness Instagram and also a fitness TikTok, working on a YouTube channel soon. But
links down below. Yep,
and then that's also where I share other information, tips, kind of more lifestyle type videos. Those are all on those channels. So
for today's video, misconceptions, one of the biggest ones. We just got to make it clear right now. You cannot outtrain a bad diet, right?
Yes. Yep.
I don't care what exercise you're doing. I don't care how hard you're pushing yourself. If you're eating horribly, trust me, it's going to show.
And it's going to catch up. It's going to catch up to you too. I also have, being in the athletics world, it's really easy to see because we do train at such a high volume and high intensity. And there are people that don't still, change their diet. You're going to see it show up in other ways that are not physical. So that's something that you want to keep in mind, because you might think, oh, I have this friend and she runs every single day and she gets to eat whatever she wants. That's not exactly how that works. That's going to show up later on. Either, you might be getting sick a lot, or you might have in your skin and your hair loss. There's a lot of things. If we're not fueling our bodies properly and you're training so much and that intensely, you're more injury prone. You're not going to recover as fast. It's going to also affect how well you're able to progress. Maybe you're doing great right now, but it's going to affect how you're progressing later on. So the effects of overtraining on a bad diet are not always just physical, and it's not just what someone looks like. Because you can look also, they might be looking great on the outside, but on the inside there's a lot of other things that are going on, and that's because of your nutrition.
Normally I would say that nutrition is the other side of the coin of fitness, and that your workouts would be the other side of the coin. But that implies that there's only two sides. In my opinion, fitness, three worlds. You got your actual workouts, so the physical activity. You got your diet and your nutrition, and you got your recovery. But for today, we're just focusing on the nutrition. So overlooked. I don't care how much you're working out. Diet plays a huge factor in everything. And I just want to put it this way. Calories are going to determine how much you weigh. Macros determine how you look. Micros determine how you feel. And right now, Audrey just said, despite what you're working out as, or whatever your goal may be, whatever type of workout program you're on, whatever you eat, it may not show physically, but there's going to be other ways of how you feel. The micros right there. Eat your fruits and vegetables. Those green things that you leave at the bottom drawer of your fridge, but then you throw away once they go bad. Yeah, those are called vegetables. Those are good for you. Those colorful things that grow on trees, yeah, those are called fruits. You actually got to eat them, believe it or not. It's not just about your chicken and rice. It's not always about that. You got to eat everything. Balanced meals. You know a lot about nutrition. You're certified in something.
Yes. So nutrition is very near and dear to my heart. And with that being said, some practical things to take away from this is there's always a balance to everything, right? Okay, so sometimes you're working out a lot and you may not have the appetite to eat the foods that you know you should be eating. Sometimes for other people too, I have a lot of clients that come to me and they're like, I know what to eat. And they're like, that the problem isn't that I don't know what healthy food is. They're just saying, I just feel like even if I, eat too much of that, it's not gonna help me. I just would rather work out more. And while that is an option, technically for those clients specifically, they're talking about weight loss. And overall, it is calories in versus calories out to some degree. But again, there's caveats with everything. But the general principle, the more that you burn, and then if you eat less than what you burn, you're going to be losing weight. Whether or not you're losing fat or muscle is dependent on what you eat, though. And that's exactly what we're talking about, is just because you're working out a lot and you're burning all of this energy, if you're not refueling it with the proper carbs, and protein that you need to rebuild those muscles, then you're not going to be progressing. So I forgot what my point was with that, but.
Well, while you remember that point, I want to point something out as well. She just said eating less, did you not?
Yes.
You ought to be real careful about that. When I had a handful of clients, I will never tell them to eat less unless they were absolutely morbidly obese. Because at that point, they probably were eating such a high surplus for what their body realistically needs. Because this is what I've noticed. You tell someone they gotta lose weight, and usually they'll say, I gotta eat less. But then mentally that gets to them, because then they start thinking, okay, I gotta eat less, I gotta eat less, I gotta eat less. Sooner or later, now you're just gonna be malnourished. Your body needs fuel.
Yeah.
Right? It needs food, protein, carbs, fats, micronutrients, fruits, vegetables, water, everything. But if you're eating less and less, you're restricting yourself more and more each time, sooner or later, you're gonna be facing other issues besides weight. Now you're just harming your overall health because now you're just starving yourself. So what I always tell them is instead of eating less calories than they're burning, I instead tell them, burn more than you're eating. Because half the time, they probably are eating a good amount of calories for what they need. They're eating the right types of food. They are eating healthy. They're just not moving around throughout the day. Maybe they're eating 3 good-sized meals each day. They're staying properly hydrated, protein, carbs, fats, fruits, vegetables, all the stuff is taken into account. But they work an office job all day. They're a truck driver, a bus driver, maybe they're a full-time student. They just don't move around throughout the day. Okay, just start moving more and you'll be surprised with what you see the difference in your health.
And then the flip side of that is now, excuse me. Okay.
You're getting my blessing.
The flip side of that is, say you are working out a ton, you have a very, very intense lifting schedule, you have an intense, you're running and you're doing cardio on top of that, and then maybe on the weekends you go for hiking and you're doing Pilates and you're saying, okay, well my
the
body.
Pilates trend.
Right. And
my girlfriend's a Pilates princess.
Pilates is great, hey.
According to her, she said, well, it's like, David, you need to take a Pilates class. You would be dying.
Yeah.
I'm all like, I would be fine.
Pilates is a lot more difficult than you guys think, and I highly recommend the class. It's great.
I do boxing. I get punched in the head. I'm pretty sure I could take a little machine with some cables that slides up and down.
No, Pilates is a different kind of punch. Anyways, anyone who's done Pilates out there, comment below, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so, but back to the other flip side. So when you are working out at such a high intensity and you're not fueling your body properly, when we're saying exercise doesn't erase a bad diet, that's not just eating whatever you want. This is also not eating enough. This is not eating enough of the protein that you need to refuel your body for what it just broke down during your workout. So you want to keep in mind that you want to think of your food. Everyone talks about food as fuel, and even when you're even if you're in a weight loss phase or a calorie deficit phase or a maintenance phase, the same principle still applies. The food that you're going to be eating is either going to fuel your workouts or it's just going to kind of get you through the day. And we want to, if you're working out that intensely and you're training that intensely, is the purpose for if you're working out and training that intensely and say you don't have control over your workouts, like you are an athlete and you are, those workouts are programmed for you, okay? That's one thing. So you need to be making sure you're fueling yourself and training, fueling yourself properly to be able to train for those workouts. The other side, if you're just exercising that intensely for weight loss purposes, that's the only reason why, and it's not like you love those types of workouts. You just think, oh, if I work out more, I'm going to burn more and then I'm going to lose more weight. That's not how it happens. That's what we're talking about in this video. And especially if you're trying to lose weight, you still need to fuel. You still need to fuel. You still need to make sure you're getting enough protein. Protein's going to be your best friend here, because if you're working out that intensely and not refueling it with enough protein, you're going to be breaking down and not building it back up. Yes. Yeah.
So
what
we
he
keep
said.
talking about losing weight. We got to be real clear here, though. Lose body fat,
Yes.
not lose body weight. Because someone who is just burning calories but not eating the right diet, yeah, you can be eating ice cream all day, but if you're eating 5,000 calories worth of ice cream per day, but you're burning 6,000 calories per day, yeah, you'll lose weight, but you're probably going to be losing a handful of muscle
Yes.
along with that. So when it comes to your diet, if you are, or not if you are, if you're trying to lose weight, you should be in a caloric deficit. Again, burn more than you're eating. Now that it's a limited amount of calories, a higher amount of those calories do need to come from good protein sources. Yeah. Because now what we're trying to do is preserve the muscle and only lose the fat. That's essential. Protein should take precedence.
Yes, and then along with that, when we're talking specifically about fat loss, the deficit that you need to be in does not have to be a huge one to lose weight.
Yeah, don't starve yourself.
Yes,
that's
to
unhealthy.
lose fat. Yes, as long as you are in a deficit, it can be 100 to 200 calories when you're talking total. And by the way, even if you have every single inch of food that's being tracked on your calculator and you have all of your workouts tracked, that is not an accurate prediction of how much you are eating and how much you are burning throughout the day. You're burning other energy, walking, standing, sitting around, and you can't be completely accurate. So you don't need to track your food to the T unless you're a fitness, aesthetic, bodybuilding competitor. That's not what I'm talking about here. Just talking about the
pretty boys that she was talking about. They train for looks. I mean, essentially that's what it is.
The ones who train for aesthetics, I'm talking about just someone who's trying to get fit, get active, get healthier, maybe lose a little bit of fat. It does not have to be that extreme. So moving off of that, if we're talking practical tips for how much should you be exercising, versus what you're eating when you're talking about fat loss. Prioritize your protein, okay? Make sure that you are eating a good, let's say just handful size of protein. You don't need to be tracking to a T your macros and your calories right now. Let's focus on eating enough first and eating enough of the good foods that you need first before you get into the nitty gritty. Let's keep it simple and keep it very, very practical and realistic for what it is you're trying to do. So instead of trying to, I'm just gonna work out and burn much more, still work out hard, do all of that too, but also make sure you're fueling on top of that.
Right now you said about being realistic. Mm-hmm. Here's something to be realistic about. We take someone, it's not bad, well, I mean, it is bad for their health, but there's things to help you out. You take someone, and in my case, I've had clients who are fairly overweight, obese, essentially. Mm-hmm. It's obvious that their diet is not what it should be. They tell me what they eat, and I'm like, man, your arteries must be clogged realistically at this point. Is it realistic for them to all of a sudden switch from that diet to eating the good lean protein sources, their fruits and vegetables? You think it's gonna be hard?
Yes.
Yeah. So here's what you can do. And again, it's not the best, but it's little steps. Don't get so overwhelmed and make such a drastic 180 change. Just take little steps each day to help you get towards your goal. So if I had this client one time told me, he's like, yeah, I'll go to Little Caesars, I'll eat an entire pizza in one sitting. Man, well, that's not really good. But you know what, it's gonna be hard for you to switch from a whole pizza to eating, a cup of broccoli, a baked potato, 8 ounces of chicken breast, whatever it may be. But how about if our goal is to lose weight? How about instead of eating the whole pizza, which has 8 slices, how about we knock it down this week to 7 slices? How about we knock it down to 6? And little by little, start avoiding more and more of that bad food, and then eventually replace it with something good. So now instead of eating 8 slices of pizza, all right, how about we tone it down now to maybe just 3 slices of pizza, but so you still feel full. Eat a big bowl of salad or something that will fill your stomach, but it's still low in calories. You're still eating that junk food because it'll be a little hard to get away from it mentally. You're just so emotionally attached to that food, that comfort food, that food that makes you feel good. But at least we're not going as bad. So we're meeting in the middle, and little steps slowly will ease away from all that bad food. You don't have to make such a drastic change. Just do what you can. Think of the long term. Don't think of such a drastic change overnight.
Mm-hmm. And when talking about changes, some of the practical tips that I that help my clients a lot is we're thinking about what we can add to your diet and not what we could take away. Most people, when they come into a session with me, they think that I'm going to tell them to stop eating all of the bad things that in their head they've associated with being bad foods. So for example, if they come to me and say, I know I eat this and I shouldn't be eating this and I shouldn't blah, 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 blah.
Hey, I had that last week.
Mm-hmm. I say, let's switch
We're
that.
human.
Yeah, exactly. Switch that mind frame. It's not, what are all the bad things I shouldn't be eating? Okay, you're already eating them. why not add, let's think about all the things that we can eat, okay? All the things that we should be eating, all right? Let's look at if you go out and you eat fast food maybe 5 out of 6 days of the week. You know what, you're probably not getting enough whole food sources of protein. You're probably not getting any vegetables, and you're probably not getting any fruits and those other micronutrients that are very essential for maintaining a proper healthy body. You're probably not hydrating enough either. So let's work on that first. Those are all things, yeah. You see my water bottle right here. Those are all very, very practical things that you can work that has nothing to do with taking food out of your diet. That's not what that's not the first step here. The first step isn't just eliminating everything you think in your head you shouldn't be eating. It's what can we add to your diet to make it a little bit better, enhance, give you and your body the nutrients that it needs to prepare you for those workouts that you're doing. And right now, again, to be clear, we're talking about you're already exercising, okay? You already have that part down. Now we're talking about the nutrition side and how even though if you have the exercise part down, nutrition is still a factor, and that's exactly what we mean by exercise does not erase a bad diet, because they're both connected.
So there you have it, everyone. Again, biggest takeaway, you cannot out-train a bad diet. You can be burning all the calories you want through any type of workout that you choose, but if the diet's not in check, you're not putting in that work in the kitchen, ooh, buddy, it's gonna be rough for you. Comment down below, what are your tips? If you're someone who previously ate unhealthy, was overweight, whatever it may be, what were some things that got you fit? What were some changes that you made in the diet? What are things that are gonna help everyone else make changes to their diet and perform optimally and have that nutrition in check? Also, just comment down below any other video suggestions you'd like to see me do, whether it be about mindset, motivation, nutrition, diets, workouts, programs, whatever it is, comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help y'all out. Be sure to subscribe not just to this channel, but my girlfriend's channel and our couple's channels so you don't miss on any new videos, because we got new videos across the board for all 3 channels. For this channel specifically, new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so don't miss out. Be sure to also subscribe to the channel that eventually she will be making. I don't know when, but it'll come one day. No big deal.
But Instagram and TikTok for now. That's all I have.
Yeah,
so.
Instagram, TikTok, everything. All the links are going to be down in the description below. With that being said, we'll catch y'all next time.